Hey guys, just wanted to give you a quick tour of the shop. Here's the shop from the outside. Just a little shed that I have out in the backyard. There's a little birdhouse I made, of course flying the flag. But yeah, I got some new tools today and I just kind of want to show them off to you guys. Here's my new bandsaw that I just got. It's a Ryobi. I got it from Craigslist, so it's used, but it works very well. And pretty happy with it, pretty satisfied with the way that turned out, and I got it home and it actually works and that sort of thing. Had to make some adjustments here on the guides. They weren't properly adjusted correctly. I got my compounds in here, different compounds that I use for buffing, and got some drill bits and some brass rods. It's kind of a mess right now. I probably should have cleaned up a little bit before I did this video. You saw that belt sander earlier. Here's my 1x30 belt sander, and then I have my buffing wheel. It's a grinder wheel that I've converted into a buffer. You see, with this new belt, or the new bandsaw that I have, it's kind of got things kind of cramped up in here. But I take this, turn this around, and then there you have the buffer ready to go. So kind of made use of a small shop, small area, kind of had to make things do. So here's my 8-inch drill press, a couple of vices that I use, large vice, got a small vice. I use this one more than anything else, a small vice here. Here's my toolbox that I built underneath the workbench. Got a lot of tools in here. Keep my files. All my files are in here, and I use these quite a bit. Put my own handles on there. This is antler, or deer bone, I mean. I got ones with antler, those with deer bone with a fancy end on the end there. Here's one I made with wood. I got some antler strap that I made for myself that I use. It's my personal strap. I have some drawers in here. This one's got my sandpaper in it, and then this one's just some personal I have with various stuff in there, drill bits, some blades, two things, liners and miscellaneous parts, blades, some brass pieces, some different knives. I've projects in the works, in the making, buffing wheels, buffing compound, that sort of thing. And then I have a shelf up top that has some miscellaneous stuff up there, some oils and stuff like that. This is a little holder that I made for my oil stone. Got two different sides on the oil stone. I just put this in there, and then that holds down real good for sharpening my knives. I go back and forth. But I do wear my earmuffs almost all the time. And then I have my face shield. Face shield works really well for buffing. I know it may sound funny, but when I use my buffing wheels, it throws a compound everywhere. So I found it in my face, in my beard, that sort of thing. And I know maybe I'm loading up too much compound on the buffing wheel, but I just don't like all that over my face. So I'll wear that. Also, when I'm grinding metal or cutting metal out, I'll use that. Here's my mask that I use all the time. I use a lot of antler and a lot of deer bones, some micarta, horns, that sort of stuff that's just nasty to breathe in. I don't like to breathe that stuff in, so I use a mask. Just got a new light. It's pretty bright. Took that from work, gutting out a basement, and they had 2 or 3 of these that they weren't working, or weren't using, I mean. They work fine, obviously, just needed some new bulbs put in them, so I kind of took them, put them in my shop. Here's my air purifier, which is kind of a, I guess, a ghetto way of saying it. I got a fan that's pushing air up through the filter, and then it filters out the air it's supposed to. As you can see, there's plenty of dust around. It's not worked as well as a vacuum system that some guys have, but I just don't have the luxury of that. So it does create well, it helps from creating the cloud of dust from being here, especially when I'm grinding or when I'm sanding. Since I'm in such a small area, it covers up with dust real well. And especially in the wintertime when I had the doors closed and I got my heater on. There's a little space heater that I have up there for wintertime. And so of course I have everything closed up, and it gets pretty dusty in here, especially if I'm using bone or antler. Little cabinet I got with some little miscellaneous stuff in here. There's a little bit of kydex that I've got, some wood pieces in here. There's some horn, and a few other pieces I got in a bag. Got my radio in here. That's been an awesome thing to have inside, because it's listen to a lot of different things. And a little toolbox, and that's where I keep most of my metal that I'm working on. And then I got some more tools down there, and gas can for the lawnmowers and that sort of thing. Some oils over there and more compounds. I had to kind of squeeze things in here because this used to be full of equipment. So as you can see, here's my lawnmower up on its side. Wife doesn't really care much for that, but there's my lawnmower, and there's her bike in the back. Kind of took that apart, had to take the wheel off of there to kind of fit it in there. Just an organizer for the different belts that I use. Here's the ones for my 4x36 and 1x30. I got all the way from 400 grit up to 40 grit for the 1x30 disc sander. There's a cabinet. Again, I got this from work when we were rehabbing a house. This is one of the kitchen cabinets. There's some of my glues, some of my wood collection that I have in here that I've acquired that I use occasionally. Here's some bone that I've slabbed out, waiting to be used. And check this out. I just got this in the mail yesterday from Jant Supply. I don't know if you can read that or not. It's not really focusing in too well. Anyway, some G10. Some micarta. 1/8 by 5 inches by 10 inches. Micarta. What is that from? Alright guys. That's the tour. Hope you enjoyed. Leave any comments or any questions that you might have, and I'll make sure to answer them. See you guys later.